Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Swati and welcome back to my channel where if the book is nice, we read it twice. I am a booktuber and I love reading books and talking about them in front of you guys. Now every month I am trying to make a point of telling you guys about 20 or 23 because that suits the year. 20 or 23 most anticipated releases. I love talking about new books and just the suspense of what the book will be is something that keeps me going. So this video is all about that. This video is 20 books of August 2023 which are on my radar. I hope you enjoyed their synopsis and then you can pick some of them. Please like and subscribe if you like my content and let's get on with the video. The first book is a middle grade. It's the only middle grade on the shelf. It is The Field of Screams by Wendy Perez. Rebecca Graff, 12, discovers a ghost in a farmhouse which was also haunting her father when he was 12. The more Rebecca discovers about the ghost, more scarier it becomes. To prevent a horrible tragedy, Rebecca is in race with time to piece back the puzzles of her family legacy. Let's next come to the biggest section of the anticipated releases. It is the thriller section and the section I'm most interested in right now because the spooky season is on its way and I'm loving the thriller and horror picks which are coming out this fall. The first book is The Trap by Catherine Ryan Howard, coming out on 1st of August. So this book has three perspectives. There is Lucy, whose sister vanished 1 year ago. Her sister was the third woman to vanish in Dublin. Angela, who serves as a civilian paper pusher in missing persons unit, she wants to become an officer. And a nameless man driving through the night with his last victim in the back. So read this book to find out how these three people are connected. The next book I want to talk about is Gone Tonight by Sarah Pekinen. She is one half of the writer duo Grady Hendrix and Sarah. Ruth Sterling is quiet, hardworking and lives for her daughter Catherine. Catherine wants to have a career and move out of her house, which is not okay with Ruth. Ruth will do anything to prevent that from happening. Ruth has a secretive past and soon they both become a dance of deception. So this is a mother-daughter story and there are secrets involved plus a controlling mother, and Catherine also have something up her sleeve. So I can't wait for this one. The next one is the last one from Will Deans. This has an explosive beginning. Kaz and her new love Pete are on a vacation of lifetime on a cruise in middle of Atlantic. Next morning, Kaz wakes up to not find Pete anywhere. To her horror, the rest of the people on ship is gone too. So basically, she is in a abandoned ship in mid-Atlantic. This is beginning of a terrifying journey and she finds herself trapped. The next one is Dark Corners by Megan Golding. It is book number 2 in Rachel Karl's series. Rachel Karl, the true crime for podcast star, returns to find a popular social media influencer who was seen visiting a suspect serial killer and she disappeared soon after. So nothing more to say here. This is book 2. Book 1 definitely was a number 1 bestseller and let's hope this one is as good as well. The next one is North of Nowhere by Alison Brennan. Christine and Ryan are hiding in the woods after a horrible plane crash which they suffered because of gunfire which hit the fuel line of the plane they were traveling in. They are hiding from their murderous father, who is also kingpin in a long generation of gangsters. People are after them, some to save them, others to kill them. This is a race from beginning to end in a dramatic finish. This doesn't sound subtle, it is over the top all the way through and I'm loving the synopsis for this one. Next one is from very popular Catherine Ward. It is The Looking Glass Sound. Wilder Hilo is writing a book in a lonely cottage. It is a story about his childhood summer companion and the killer who stalked the small New England town. As he writes, the line between reality and fiction blurs. Seems like this is one of those stories where if the situation is really happening or if it is all in the writer's head, you don't know. It might be an unreliable narrator. Next is The Trade-Off by Sandy Jones. Stella, an editor at Globe, will stoop as much as possible to get a story. Jess, on the other hand, will do whatever it is to uncover the truth. When a controversy breakthroughs in Globe, Jess is hell-bent to find out what really happened and if Stella is involved or guilty, but someone is prepared to kill her. Next, we come to Karen Slaughter's new release. It is After the Night. It's Will Trent number 11. So I'm very far away from what the story began with, and I don't think I'll be picking this up, but everybody loves Karen Slaughter, so I had to include her in this list. Sarah is a successful doctor right now attending ER, where a violently attacked Danny Cooper arrives, whose story seems exactly similar to Sarah's 15 years ago. Who is the culprit? Sarah and GIB specialist agent Will Trent is on the case. Next is CJ Corner's first board game shop mysteries. It is number 1 of the series in a cozy mystery series, and it is named Board to Death. It is very interesting, and the cover looks absolutely cute, like all mystery covers look like. Ben's running his family's board game shop and cafe. Clive's come to solve a 12th century edition of Landlord, which was the chief influence to make the board game Monopoly. He was also offering it on 1/10 the price, which made Ben suspicious, and hence Ben refused to buy that game. Ben turns him down only to find him murdered and dumped in the dumpster behind his shop. Worse, a bag of $100 bill currency shows up on his doorstep. Now he is the prime suspect for killing Clive. He and Ethan have to prove their innocence. Our protagonist is being falsely accused, and now he has to save himself. Sounds like a typical cozy mystery, and I'm here for it. Next is Burlington by Heather Dixon. One of her mom of her daughter's school go missing, and May Roberts finds herself uncovering truth. This gives me Big Little Lies vibes. They are school children and their mothers, and these mothers have cliques where they invite May Roberts. It is kind of a neighborhood watch, but worst case scenario, somebody goes missing. Now you have to find out. So this is suburban mom drama at its best, or so I hope. The next is a book I'm very excited about. This is the next Alice Feeney. Now I did not like her last book, which was Daisy Darker, and I kind of felt cheated reading that book, to be very honest, because the twist was so lame that it kind of negated the whole book. That being said, the one prior to that, Rock Paper Scissors, was one of my favorite, which made Alice Feeney kind of a auto-buy author for me. And this time she comes with Good Bad Girl. 20 years after a baby is stolen from a stroller, a woman is murdered in a care home. These two crimes are somehow linked, and a good bad girl may be a key to find out the mystery of the situation and discover the truth. It's just the kind of synopsis I like. It is brief and it doesn't give out too much, and I'm definitely loving the cover. Next is The Brother Hawthorne. It is book number 4 after the Inheritance trilogy. It was supposed to be a trilogy. There is 4th book coming now because it has been a very massively popular book. 4 brothers, 2 missions, and 1 explosive read. That's what Jennifer Lynn Barn tells us, and that's what I believe. The next one is Happiness Fall by Angie Kim. When a father goes missing, his family's desperate search leads them to question everything they know about him or each other. This is both a riveting page turner whereas a deeply moving story about a family in crisis. Next, I have One Single Romance And as I find that after February, March, April, I kind of start moving away from romance because I'm a seasonal reader. I like to read according to the seasons I'm in. I generally find myself gravitating towards dark fantasy or horror books towards the fall. That's why I have one single romance on this list. My Roommate is a Vampire by Gina Levine. So it's simple. Girl doesn't have money, girl needs to rent apartment, girl ends up roommating with somebody. Her roommate is beautiful, broody, talks like somebody who came from regal England, and he is weird because he sleeps all day and then works at night. But there are packets of blood in the refrigerator, and he has a proposition for her. So sounds interesting, and I can't wait to see what kind of proposition he has for her. This is labeled as contemporary romance or paranormal romance. So I don't know whether it will go dark or stay light-hearted, but I'm very much interested in this one. Let's come down to demand of the season, which is horror selections for the month. Next is Whale from Daniel Krauss. It is about a scuba diver who has been swallowed by a 80-foot, 60-ton sperm whale. He has 1 hour to escape or his oxygen will run out. Next, I have Mr. Magic by Christine White. Former children's stars come together to figure out the tragedy that ended their show and discover the secrets of its enigmatic host. Who is Mr. Magic? This is one of the picks of my subscription box, and I'm getting this and reading it, devouring it out as soon as possible. Next is The Handyman Method, a story of terror. This is the newest installment by none other than Nick Cutter, who is famous for his The Troop as well as The Deep. This is a chilling domestic story, terror for the fans of Black Mirror and wait for it, Amityville horror. A young family moves into an undeveloped community where a DIY instructor goes about telling how to handle problems around the house. It is a haunted house story that meets domestic insecurity, and there is a shade of DIY in it. Next one is another one by Elizabeth Canas. This is Vampires of El Norte. Vampires and Vaguevos, which are Mexican cowboys, face off on Texas-Mexico border. So this is a supernatural western by the author of Hacienda. This is the first time I'll be reading her book, and I hope to enjoy it, and if I do, I'll go back to her previous one. Next is Spin a Black Yarn. This is 5 short novellas by the author of Bird Box, none other than Josh Mellerman. It's a horror because definitely these are harrowing novellas. So these are all the books that I am anticipating in the month of August. Let me know in comments down below if you are interested in some of them, and then I can maybe make it a priority to getting to them if possible. That is all for today's video. Like and subscribe if you like what I do over here. Push the notification bell so that you are informed of every video that comes out. And that is all. Bye bye.